What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of Family by Heart. Dustin here, and it's another guest episode, another interview, and our guest was the very fun, very entertaining Carrie Danger. She's a DJ for alternative radio station 107.3 in Cleveland, and she's so much fun, so entertaining that our conversation just kept going and going. So this episode is actually a two-part episode. And we talk about, you'll hear in the first part here, her upbringing, how she got into being a DJ, some of the contacts she's made through music, some of her experiences. And then in part two, you will hear about the power of music and her journey, her mental health journey. So here's part one, and you can look for part two next week. What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of Family by Heart. We are here in season 3, and you know how we're rolling the season. I got always with me my co-host Brandon. Brandon, what's going on today, bud? How you doing?
Oh, doing fantastic today. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. I woke up feeling dangerous, hence my Danger Mayfield shirt. But there's another reason I wore a shirt that said Danger on it. It's because of her guest today. I'm so excited to have her on, not only because she gave me tickets to my first concert of the season, but she's one of my favorite on-air personalities, and you have the chance to vote for her to be your favorite DJ in Cleveland in this year's 2024 Cleveland Scene Magazine Best Of, and that would be the great Carrie Danger from 107.3 Alternative Cleveland. Carrie, what's going on? How are you today?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm excited to have you on. Like, this is great. Like I said, you gave me my first concert tickets of the season. It was only the second time I've won concert tickets ever in my life. The last time I did it, I lived in Florida and got tickets to the Black Keys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. But I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here and share the story a little bit of how I got the tickets.
Okay.
And that was by telling a little bit of a lame dad joke.
Yeah,
and
it worked. I was like, that's the kind of attitude we like around here.
Yeah.
Man,
However, my wife was a little disappointed in it, though. She's like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." But she's been telling me for years, like, you cannot tell the kids dad jokes until they're at least 5 or 6 years old. But I've been doing it from the beginning.
Yeah,
so,
just do it. Yeah.
So the story real quick is I had been trying to win tickets to Blue October. You guys have been doing, and you guys, the way 107.3 does it, you have a text-in number, you text in a keyword, and then you guys pick. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me how you guys were picking the names. I was trying to figure out if there's some kind of algorithm or what, because I would text in right away. I'd wait a few minutes. I'd wait a song. I was trying to figure it out, and I didn't get the tickets for Blue October. I'm like, darn it. So then one day I'm on my way to work, and her tickets for Ema Orchestra, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't win anything for a week and a half. I'm going to try something different. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, in that whole time, I had another friend. I was sending him the keyword, and he was texting in too.
That's what you do.
Yeah. So I was having him try as well. Yeah. Well, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. So the keyword was human. And so I texted my friend to text in the keyword human. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. So I texted, or as my dog would say, human. The HOOMAN, as they have it on all the social media memes and stuff like that. Next thing I know, a couple of minutes later, I get a text back. Oh my gosh, that's so right. Haha. Congratulations. You won tickets to Emo Orchestra. I'm like, yes! It worked. It worked.
You beat the algorithm.
And then the best part about it, too, was that I then asked you, like, so be for real. Like, was it the dad joke that did it? And you... Yeah. And you responded, I really can't say, LOL. Yeah. But then, do you know how I knew it was the dad joke?
How?
It's because in your shout out to me, you said, "Hope you and your dog have a great time at the show." I'm like,
oh yeah,
that just solidified it. I'm like, yes.
So here's the thing: so we use a program. It's Text Groove, because there are companies that make texting 4 radio stations, which is great. And we don't have phone lines yet to call in, which that is going to be, I don't even know how busy it's going to get when that happens. I don't even want to know. But the freaking, the app has like a random picker. However, we go by the rules. You can't win within 30 days. So I don't use that because it'll just pick someone that just won yesterday. And you can't, that's just against the rules, you know? So for some reason, I just love following rules. And so I'm like, oh, I'll just go through and like, I look and see like, okay, has this person ever won? Have they been trying to win for a while? That is a big one. That is like the secret's out, guys. If you guys have actually been trying and not being obnoxious about it, that's where we're like, all right, let's get you to a show. We can't pick everybody, but we can do our best to make it matter for someone that will love it.
Well, I have a secret to tell you, and that is my friend that was also texting in, that was saying the keywords. He won tickets with Alyssa Ray by doing a dad joke as well.
Stop it! I'm gonna go get her.
so now we've been trying. Another friend of ours, his goal is to win tickets from the morning show.
Okay.
So then we'll have covered the whole spectrum.
Well,
and he's sending in some pretty epic dad jokes too, and they've just responded like LOL, like some laughing memes, stuff like that. But he is not one with them yet.
Those.
Yeah. So
it sounds like perseverance. It sounds like perseverance is key on this. So just keep going. And one of those dad jokes will hit. One of them will hit.
That's what we're trying for, and we're trying to be, because we all, you know, my wife works at Strongsville United Methodist Church, and so that's like this group of dads is all from there and stuff, and so
that's so funny.
I keep, when my friend won, I'm like, the dads of Strongsville United Methodist struck again, and I sent her the shout out and stuff. So she's like, oh, this is really bad.
I love it. That's amazing.
So. Anyways, we are here to talk about you and talk about the power of music. But first, we got some icebreakers for you, Carrie.
All right.
So first is Danger, your stage DJ name or your birth name. And if it's not your birth name, you obviously don't have to give it to us. I understand you have to keep that anonymity there.
Yeah.
And do you get more cool name compliments or corny jokes about your name, Danger?
Oh my God, that's good. Okay, so not my birth name. It was given to me from someone else. I did not name myself Carrie Danger. My first like alias from AIM chat was Apocalypse Carrie. I don't know why. I'm like actually really nice and wholesome and sweet. And I keep choosing these like mean, tough names. But Danger was given to me in high school because of chemistry class. And it just worked. And that was in 2008. And here we are. So
wow.
It's got to ring. And CD because music.
Most people say that Danger's their middle name, right?
That's typically how it goes. I did love Austin Powers growing up, but that's pretty much that. But I get a lot of Danger. Is that your real name? I'll say your real name. And then when it's not, they're like, oh, man. Like,
kind of let down.
What am I going to do?
I'm not let down. I asked you that question, but I'm not let down. Whether it's your real name or DJ name, like handle name, like it's still a cool name and stuff. And you know what, you're right. You have that more the bubbly, positive personality. But I think the genre that you work in and doing the alternative rock station, like, and your segment that you do with the Danger Zone stuff, like, I think it all works, all fits for it.
It works.
And stuff. Like, plus, you know, you've seen on your social media, you got some pretty sick tattoos and all that stuff too. So it all works. It all works.
Yeah, I can sit through a 4-hour tattoo session without crying. Dangerous.
There you go.
It's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's how long was your longest tattoo session that you've had? Was
4.5 hours?
4.5 hours. Nice.
Mm-hmm. It was painful. I mean, they all hurt. Everyone. What hurts the worst? All of them. I did actually start crying during my elbow, though.
Yeah, elbow
not
can't
like
feel
hysterical,
good.
but my arm was numb because I was like back like this the whole time.
Oh.
And laying on my stomach, and like that's still when I was drinking, so I did not feel when I'm not even 50% that day, and I still just went. And
oh man.
My God, that was rough times. But, yeah, I definitely had tears in my eyes, and luckily I just got it done. I'm not going to get it touched up. I don't care if it needs it. I'm not doing it.
No, let that thing ride. Let that thing ride. I think ribs are the most painful. You know, going back, I got ribs on both sides, and it's just like, I don't know if I do that again. Thank God I don't have
my God.
ribs, right?
You're wild. I've never gotten anything torso, back. I want my back done, but legs and arms for sure.
Back and shoulders, not bad. Not much pain at all, but ribs are a whole nother level.
My God.
I got sternum right here. I got a cross that goes kind of across, and it was a very intricate Celtic cross. For me, when I had that one done, the part that kind of hurt the most is they were focusing more on like the right pectoral, and then when they switched over to the left, it was like it's like starting the whole thing over, because the right one had gotten so numb from everything. It's like, okay. And then they moved over to the left. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I got my upper back too, and that one wasn't bad. I didn't mind that one so much.
The back's not bad, but yeah.
Those are the only two I've got, but I've wanted more, but haven't pulled the trigger on anything. Now, being stay-at-home dad, I don't have the funds for doing more, so.
Last year with depression and just all the things I was going through, I just kept turning to tattoos, and now I'm covered in them, and I'm like, well, I feel better now.
Yeah. Any you regret?
One. It is my first and middle name. I got that when I was like, so my first tattoo, I was 16. No, I was 15. And thank God my mom's, she's amazing. But my, I don't know, like fourth or fifth tattoo was just my first and middle name on my back. I don't know why. It's stupid. It's all blended together at this point from all the tanning and being outside and like all this crap. And it was free. I was on a date. It was a cool first date, but also weird. And I was like, I want a tattoo. And the artist was like, you literally just sat through his stupid tattoo. I'll put whatever you want on your body.
How many more dates were there after that? So how successful was that first date? And it wasn't a good first date.
First and foremost, I don't even like the Melt restaurant. I was like, oh, this is a lot of hype. I was probably 18 years old. But yeah, it was weird.
At least you didn't get his name tattooed on you on the first date. That would have been even worse.
That is something stupid I would have done, though. Like, oh, this would be hilarious. Yeah. Not anymore. I'm growing up now.
There you go. Grown up-ish, right? Grown up-ish.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
As we all are. Apparently, I'm coloring my hair, according to Brandon. But
do it.
Yeah. Look at you. Look at you. You're reversing age like Benjamin Button, right?
Hey, and I did 42-inch box jumps yesterday, so I was like, hey, I haven't been able to do that before, so
well done.
So there you go. Maybe I'm reversing age.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, Brandon, I think you got the next two icebreakers there.
Yeah. So, Carrie, a little bit on the less dangerous level. I know on your Instagram you have, some nice artwork on there. You have some cats on your Instagram. You have a cat lover. You have lots of cats. What's going on?
Yeah, I have two cats. I had two cats. Well, first of all, I wasn't allowed to have cats for a long time because my ex-husband was allergic. I'm pretty sure he was lying to me about that, but I'm almost positive because I witnessed it and I was like, you're not sneezing or irritated. What's going on here? Anyway. So I have two cats, and then I had three cats for a little while after my mom died. She was a full-on cat lady, and rehoming all those inside, outside, all the cats, it was a chore. And finding the right homes for them, because we care about them. But I ended up with this little baby one, bitty, and it didn't even get bigger than like, I don't know. I think I took him to the vet, and it was like 3 pounds. But he was like the runt and like struggling. But anyway, there's itty bitty since he passed away, and that's Ruka and Solo, and I've got other cats. There's a spooky cat, another cat, but I do love my cats. Ruka and Han Solo, they're my babes. I love them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Star Wars names too. Awesome.
Yeah.
Big Star Wars fan?
Yeah, I like Star Wars. I don't get into all like, my one friend was like, you got to watch like the Lego movie and I don't know, all the other things, like the animation stuff. First of all, I don't watch TV hardly at all anymore. I have a television.
Yeah,
I just don't even turn it on that much. Yeah. But I got it out of spite, so.
Well, if you didn't have a TV, what would your furniture be pointing at, right?
I know. I think about that all the time. How sad is it that is the center point of our lives is this big old screen. Yep. I want to take it down so bad and just see how long I can go without it. Like, why not?
It's like I have my wife and 2 kids, like if everyone's like, in the living room, which is rare at this point because my kids are getting older. So to get everyone in the same place at once, but it's like, okay, so the TV's up, but then everybody's got their phone in their hand. Everybody's watching something different on their phone. It's like, why do we even have this TV on? you know.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really been phased out. Like Dustin just said, it's really just something to point your furniture at.
It really is. It's so wild. I will say though, the TV came in handy when my sister and my nephew moved in, and I am 12 years older than my sister, and my nephew just turned 2 in January. He's my favorite human being on the planet, and he loves Bluey. We're a Bluey family, and
There you go.
so we do watch a lot of Bluey. So I don't personally decide to turn on the TV, but for his sake, when he's being really good and really like, you know, being a good boy, I'm like, all right, we can watch some Bluey.
And you power through that Bluey, I'm sure. You power through
right.
because it's so difficult to watch.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's my favorite episode. Oh my God, I love this one. Oh my God, that one's so cute. I love how they do that. And I'm crying.
Oh yeah. I was late getting on the Bluey bus because it was one of those things where everyone kept saying like, you gotta watch. I'm like, stop telling me what I gotta do. Like, I don't want to do it. And like, I think I picked that up from my wife a little bit because she to this day has not seen Frozen. She refuses to watch the Frozen movie.
Forget it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like was so late to the Bluey bus, and then we start watching. I'm like, holy crap, this is good. Like, I really like this. Like
these
and
episodes are meaningful.
And now my 5-year-old, soon to be 5-year-old, his favorite thing to say when things don't go his way, biscuits. Biscuits. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's the best thing. Especially because he's picked up other bad words from Dad in the past. So the fact that he's now switched to biscuits and then will tell me, Dad, say biscuits. I'm like, okay, sorry about that.
You got it, kid.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh God.
So that kind of rolls seamlessly into the next icebreaker, the last icebreaker. So you're watching Bluey, you got your cats. What is your hidden guilty pleasure?
And I don't think they're really hidden, but I don't do them anymore, so they're not really a guilty pleasure. I really loved drinking beer and smoking cigarettes, but I quit. So if I had to say,
it's a pastime.
Yeah. Freaking hobby at one point. But I'm a sucker for a bag of popcorn. Like I will eat an entire bag.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, if I'm reading, I got myself in this really bad habit of I would get in bed and read for I read a couple hours a night. That's actually how I stopped doing all the things I was doing is like, all right, let's quit that. Let's do this instead. Now I'm addicted. But I eat an entire bag of popcorn right there. Although I just watched a video that the lining of the popcorn bags is like cancer causing. So I'm going to get rid of my microwave. When my sister moves out, that microwave's out of here. Forget it. We don't need that anymore. No TV, no microwave. I don't know what's happening.
So are you butter? Are you kettle corn? Are you, they have like even the crazy flavors? Like, are you just the traditional butter?
Full on movie theater butter, and it's got to be Redenbacher. It's not anything else. I don't want any AMC or Act 2 or whatever it is. I don't want it. Crap. It's disgusting. It's all about Mr. Redenbacher. Otis? Wait, Orville.
Orville, yeah.
Orville, the OG. OG Orville.
OG. Yep, OG Orville. That's it right there. But yeah, that's pretty much, that'll definitely be that. I can't think of anything else.
Me hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
I just had breakfast. I'm not hungry anymore. I'm convincing myself.
Make a bag of popcorn, get a beer, and have a cigarette.
Yeah. That sounds like a great breakfast.
Breakfast of champions. Breakfast of
champions.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Alternatives it's either that or Wheaties, one or the other.
Goodness.
All right, so I've been dying to know. So we're going to dig a little bit more into your background, and I've been dying to know this part since you brought it up last week. Last week you asked for everyone's throwback movies that just makes them feel like home.
Yeah.
And someone messaged you in about the American Pie trilogy. Yeah. I don't know who that person was, but someone messaged in. And just because they thought that, the story of the friendships and how they grow together and the homeness of the dad talking to Jim and all that stuff. Not that I know much about those movies. But that person sent that in. And then you said you had a funny story about how you were finally able to see those movies for the first time. Mm-hmm. So what is that story?
Okay, I think it's funny because I was there, but I didn't think it was funny when I got grounded for it. When I was younger, I grew up with a single mom, and it was just me. And so when she would have to go do stuff or whatever, she would send me to Tennessee, or excuse me, I'm from Tennessee. She'd send me to Florida with my grandparents or to Ohio with my family that actually lives pretty close to where I live now. And I was always constantly on the move. So I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida, Punta Gorda, Florida, with my amazing grandpa and my grandma Peggy Dawn. And they set me up their favorite thing was finding kids for me to hang out with. And so I'm younger than I am now. That's actually where I fell in love with Fuse at this person's house. But anyway, I'm at Bernard Sr.'s house with his son, Bernard Jr., his daughter, I can't remember her name, and I can't remember the other girl's name. I wish I could. So
Bernadette
I just remember
and
Bonnie.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But I'm there, and we were just like freaking partying, like junk food city. I had actually stepped in a fire ant hill that day because I was running from their on property alligator. So
oh my God.
It was a day. Anyway, I thought I earned a little American Pie, and I was like, let's watch it. I'm not allowed to. And my mom said no. And they're like, well, my dad doesn't care. So, because their dad was much older than my mom. And my mom had me so young. So I was like, all right, yeah, for sure. Let's do it. So we are sneak watching all three of them in one night, pounding junk food, drinking sodas like crazy. Okay. And I remember going home, and it came out like I made a joke, like something probably at band camp or whatever. And my mom was like, excuse me. And mind you, my mom, sergeant in the military, she don't miss nothing. So she's like, excuse me. And my nickname is Bear because Care Bear, but Bear, are you trying to tell me that you watched American Pie against my rules or whatever? Anyway, so I was grounded hard for that. But I'll never forget.
And did you have to do push-ups and stuff as a result?
Actually, yeah, she would do a lot of punishments. So, like, if I flopped, we've got this chair. It's a red leather chair. I still have it. But Mom and I decided we'd share it. And she, like I said, she's passed. Every time I'd flop on that chair, she'd be like, all right, go do some wall squats. Obviously, your legs aren't strong enough to sit on my chair properly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she was tough. Push-ups if I was picking my lips or like sucking. I used to suck my thumb, so I had braces too. And all right, go keep your hands busy and do some push-ups.
Push-ups, wall squats, man. Okay.
She's tough, but you know what I didn't do is flop on that chair.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're originally from Tennessee, but you do have family in Ohio. Is that how you got to Ohio? Did you stop anywhere along the way, or kind of what was your route from Tennessee to Ohio?
So was
it the weather? Was it the weather that you wanted to come in, or tropical nature?
Weirdly, a little bit of everything. So I lived in Tennessee. I was born at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, because my mom and my dad were Army, and they were stationed there, and we lived right off base. And so, by the way, Clarksville, great place to grow up. There's so much food, culture. I mean, you are just really immersed in just so many things that I think it makes you a pretty well-rounded person, if I might say so myself. But shout out Clarksville. So my mom, she was Army. And then when my dad and her got divorced, I was like, I don't know, 1. And so she became a civilian again and started just working regular job, therapist and stuff like that. So then fast forward, she marries my brother and sister's dad, joins Army Reserves because she's like, I need to do this again. I need to be fulfilled, whatever. And then gets deployed to Germany after 9/11. I'll never forget that moment. 9/11 happening. We're an Army area and 101st Airborne. And anyway, I just remember knowing exactly that every one of us, our lives were changing because our parents were going somewhere.
Wow.
We all shut down completely. My mom thankfully got deployed to Germany, and it's very safe. She got to do a lot of cool stuff, actually. She smoked weed for the first and only time in Amsterdam. Hey.
Good spot to do it. Good spot to do it.
What's up, Robin? Okay, crazy girl. She's like, it just made me really hungry. I'm like, that's good. So that's good weed then, Mom.
You did it right. You did it right.
Yeah, you did well. You were trained. So, anyway, before she moved, I had the option to move to Germany, stay in Tennessee. I was not getting along with my stepdad, and move to Florida or move to Ohio with my dad. And I was up in the air. I was like, I don't know what to do. I chose Ohio because I was like, well, I'm still close to all my friends because I had a ton of friends in Tennessee. I was 15, almost 16. And so that's how I ended up in Ohio. And it was tough being the new girl at a freaking high school.
Yeah.
I was bullied hard, but I persevered. I got through it.
There you go.
Where did you go to high school at? Where did you go to high school?
This place called Norwayne in
Norway.
Creston. I don't know if you guys know where like Worcester is,
Worcester,
Regina.
Okay.
So it's like this little tiny blip right in the middle on the way right down Route 3.
All right.
Norway.
Bobcats.
Norway.
Yeah.
So Tennessee's a big a sweet tea state, right? It's the heart of sweet tea country. Are you a
sure
sweet tea
is.
drinker? Are you drinking sweet tea right now? Are you drinking coffee? What's your drink of choice?
I'll tell you what, I knocked the sweet tea years ago. When I moved to Ohio, I would make sweet tea for everybody and like always have it in the fridge. When I had my first apartment, like I lived in Lima for my first radio gig. And so I'm 21. I did not drink. I only smoked weed. Like I drink occasionally, but I didn't get too crazy. I don't think anyway. But so then I always had sweet tea in the
Not that
house.
I remember.
Not that I remember. I don't know. Right. But I've got some stories. But my buddies would come over and they loved it. And then eventually when I moved, I always think about how many times I've moved because it's been a lot. But I stopped drinking the sweet tea because I realized it was ruining my skin. And that's also when I quit drinking milk and just started drinking black coffee. I was 22.
I'm cutting out the tea. I'm cutting out the milk. I'm going straight black coffee now.
Dunzo. But
I'm doing wall squats and push-ups and black coffee. Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah, seriously. But it's so funny you bring up sweet tea. Over the weekend, I was at a bridal shower and my best friend, we've been best friends since I moved to Ohio. We are like sisters for life. And she made sweet tea for the first time with real sugar, not sweet and low. And she's like, taste it and tell me what you think. Immediately, I know what it's supposed to taste like. I was born on this. It was like in the bottle. I was like, girl, I don't know about this. She's like a little offended. I don't care. I'm going to be honest with you. Why would you want me to lie to you and tell you it's good?
She asked, right? She asked for your opinion. You got to give it.
You know where she went wrong? She put unmarked bags of tea in it. So it didn't taste like Lipton. It tasted like a big old conglomeration of tea bags and sugar. Not good. I love you, Mercedes.
Are we sure unmarked bags of tea at a bridal shower? Are we sure it was tea that she put in there?
She's like, it was probably, so there's like kava tea. If you guys haven't heard of it, try it. It's so good. Okay. Oh my God, it is so relaxing. So she put that in there and I'm like, if that is kava tea on accident, like everyone's chill. Like no one is getting in a fight today.
There you go.
It was the most relaxing.
Now you're off the sweet tea, but you did try an interesting drink this week.
Oh yeah.
If you want to share with our listeners and Brandon about that little concoction you tried this week.
Okay, so I don't really drink soda. Occasionally I have a Diet Coke, but like little babies. But I have a work prep site that I use. It's this really great company. Every radio station has one. But anyway, you go, they have all the stuff that you want to talk about that day or whatever. It's how you end up having stations talking about the same thing throughout the same day, by the way. If you're ever wondering, like, weird, they just talked about that. It's because we're all using the same work prep sites. That's all you got to know. Anyway, so this lady called Mississippi Meemaw, she went to a Sonic and got herself a Dr. Pepper with pickles inside. And apparently it was so common there. So I don't know if you've got to let the pickles marinate or whatever. But anyway, I went and got some Dr. Pepper, OG Dr. Pepper, not Diet Dr. Pepper. And I put a sphere and a half of pickles in there because I wanted to eat some of the one pickle. And it was pretty good. I'd only let it sit for like 3 minutes. I think it could go longer with more pickles, but it was pretty good. You're going to try it. Yeah. It'll be fun for the kids. Honestly, I imagine like a youth that is allowed to have soda. Obviously, don't go against your own rules in your household, but put it in there and see what they think. Just make them try it. It's so funny.
All right.
Well, let's see. Now, you made a point to make a point about original Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper. I thought they were supposed to taste the same. I'm confused.
They don't.
No,
they don't.
They don't.
No,
they don't.
No.
I can't do diet anything, but I have gotten into some of the zero sugars of like Pepsi and Coke
I can't do that. I worked. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say they're not bad. They actually, I think some of them are starting to use more of the stevia instead of the sucralose and aspartame and that stuff. But
it's so bad.
You still got to look at those. But
I love a Diet Dr. Pepper. And I remember when I quit drinking soda, I was a senior in high school. I mean, now I just drink it occasionally. It's a treat. But I was working at the Subway inside the Circle K, and they've got the Polar Pop machine, and nothing tastes better than a fountain soda. So my God. And then I saw the guy cleaning it. That was when I was like, I'm done. But it was always Diet Dr. Pepper for me every time.
There you go.
Middle of the night. Can't even open my eyes because
the subway inside at the gas station is always a roll of the dice. I'm not gonna lie, it's always a roll of the dice.
They couldn't promote me, so they gave me the title of customer service representative because I was so nice to everybody.
I love it. Now we're gonna move on to the next part, and I'm gonna quote one of your favorite people in the world from a particular movie, and the quote was, "Those that can't teach. Those that can't teach. Those that can't teach gym class." Do you know who that is? Oh my God.
I know it, but I'm brain farting.
All right. Wait, it's your man, Jack Black.
Yeah, that's right.
From School of Rock.
I do love that movie. I know, what?
Yep.
I just found a thing I saved of him from that movie. I'm serving society with my power to rock or something like that.
There you go. Oh, I love that. That's perfect for you, too. Perfect for you, too. So we can hear through your personality and see on your social posts that you have a passion for music. How did you get into radio, and do you have any musical talent yourself, or because you can't, you teach or you play music instead?
I love that. I actually say that often about other radio people. But anyway, so that they think they're like the coolest. But I got into radio. God, I wanted to go teach music, ironically. When I moved to Ohio, I joined the band and the choir, and I taught myself how to play the trumpet, which was hard. And then I taught myself how to play the tenor saxophone, also hard. And then I sang in the choir, and then I joined all like the arts programs, basically. And then, softball, ski club, that kind of thing. And I remember wanting to teach music, but I was so unmotivated and depressed because at that point, my mom had been deployed to so many different places that I wasn't able to focus at school. And everyone's like, oh my God, what's wrong? Check on your kids. I don't care how old they are. Oh my God. If they have other things going on, and I lived in a non-military area when I moved up here, and they just they could not comprehend that it's actually hard. Like none of them had military parents. And if they did, they've been retired. But so check on the kids, because that's why I was struggling, is because I missed my freaking mom. But I remember going to the guidance counselor, and I'm like, yeah, I think I want to go major in music, but I just suck at school. And I didn't suck at school. I just wasn't ready for anything. Right. And she's like, you know what? There's a school called Ohio Center for Broadcasting. Yeah. Why don't you go check that out? And I've always loved the radio. I used to say all the time, man, I'd love to be on the radio. I just didn't think it was ever anything I could actually do. It never ever. And I talk all the time. I was born literally just blah, 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 blah. I remember she's like, let's take this little online quiz. And my career literally came out as radio DJ.
There you go.
Look at that.
Yeah. And I was like, fine, whatever. I'm 18 years old. Let's go to this stupid school for 10 months. Man, let me tell you, I learned a few things, and I learned a lot more on the job. And I was very lucky, and I was very persistent. I applied to 10 jobs every single week for an entire year, because you don't get in paid decent, it's hard. Any job you try to get into after school. And I remember my first gig, I went and I interviewed, and I was still working at that Subway, by the way. And they were like, just go interview. It's fine. Just take the whole day. I'm like, yeah. Cause it was a 3-hour drive one way. And so I go, and that guy, I remember he's like, I don't know. We just really want someone with experience. And I was like, how am I going to get experience if you don't give it to me?
Yeah.
And he was like,
that's the age-old question.
Yep.
Age-old
and
chicken
he's
or
like,
the
you
egg.
got it. Yep. And he was awesome. He was a great station manager, amazing programming director. It was such a great start to work morning tech. And by that point, I was 20. And I remember I was like, I got my first radio gig, and I have to be there at 4:30 a.m. every day.
Wow.
And I did in my pajamas.
That's
well,
rough.
like I said, by the time I moved there, I had turned 21 after I moved by myself. I had no friends, but it was cool, actually. I smoked so much weed, I didn't drink. So I was good to get up and go.
You can get up and get moving, right? Yeah.
So
So kind of a personal question on that. How much do you know about I'm not trying to put Ohio School for Broadcasting down by any means, but like I lived in Florida for some time, and they had down there that even though it's Florida, Connecticut School for Broadcasting, and I kind of had looked into it as well about getting on the radio and stuff, which is why I love doing these podcasts and everything. And my brothers always said I had a face for radio. Assholes.
Mean. That's a mean age-old joke. Right? Come on.
Right.
Meanies.
But I was looking at the Connecticut School for Broadcasting, much like the Ohio School for Broadcasting, and happened to come up here, Ohio, for a visit with my family at the time. And my godmother had a couple friends that worked in radio, and they kind of told me, like, well, yeah, I mean, you can learn a lot from going to the school. However, you might be more beneficial to get at least like a 2-year or 4-year degree in like broadcasting, journalism, that kind of stuff, instead of going to a specialized school, because they said that while your applications will make the stack, you're going to be at the bottom of the stack. Do you feel like that was the case with going to a vocational school versus getting that degree, or how do you feel that changed your trajectory of your career?
Okay, so I think, again, not putting down OCB, because it is now Ohio Media School, and I think look, when I went, my graduation was in a garage, and it was in front of that's pretty much it. I don't want to say like, oh, what a waste of my time. It wasn't. I learned a lot of things. I met a lot of good people, and connections are what get you places. I mean, I can see from people that I've worked with, like some of them have zero, like anything from college, vocational school, anything. And yet here they are. So like, it's kind of one of those things where if you got that moxie and you can finesse your way into get an interview at least, and just, you know, win them over. I would say definitely I'm glad that I went to vocational versus a like yearly kind of college, because it got me into the business faster. And honestly, I had to work really hard. I told you 10 jobs a week. I was applying or following up or whatever. And I applied to things in like, I was applying to stations in like Iraq. I'm not even kidding. For like army-based radio stations and all that stuff. Because Good Morning Vietnam was one of my first ones. I was like, I want to do that for sure. I want to do that. I was going to join the army for that. But then 2008 and then big deal. Anyway, so yeah, like I think a yearly college is super important and beneficial and definitely gets you more money. But I think for me, the fact that I don't have any student loans anymore. Like, and again, you can't teach moxie. And if you've got it, they're going to see it and they're going to want it. It's pretty much what it is.
Right on. Yeah, I did go to the orientation there, and where they let you like read from a teleprompter, or they test you over like reading a commercial advertisement like for between songs or whatever and stuff. And I do know that like the teleprompter part with the like the TV screen, like trying to read through that was tough. Like I had a hard time reading it through, but I knocked it out of the park. Like I remember coming out from the commercial read, because I even like ad-libbed and like, you know, and fluctuated my deep voice a little bit and stuff too. And like I came out and the instructor's like, oh, dude, you could be teaching this stuff. I was like, thanks. Like, so I was like gung ho on it, and then talked to my godmother's friends, and they're like, yeah, you probably don't want to do that. And I was working at the post office at the time, and I never knew what time I'd be getting out of work. So I was like, it probably was going to be feasible for me to do it. So it's never happened, but here I am podcasting, talking with,
look at you.
Yeah. Here we are now. Talking with you and other great personalities. So love it.
Yeah.
Now, concerts are my happy place, and I've seen them big and small, big arenas, small dive bars. I've seen legendary acts like Michael Jackson and Bruce Springsteen, to lesser known bands that still haven't made it big, quote unquote. What's been your favorite show you've ever been to? Or name a few, as I know it can be hard to narrow down like your favorite shows.
Oh my God, that's tough, because I think I probably went to at least 50 concerts last year, like alone.
Jealous.
Yeah, jealous until you get burnout, and then you're like, I'm done. I got to take a break.
I have 2 toddlers at home. I will not get burnout being at a concert.
Oh my God. I'm like, whew. I'm strategically planning this year out, actually, to help my mental health stay. But anyway, I would say I got The Cure. I think that was my favorite, because it was my first concert that I got rained on. And like, that was a stormy concert. We had to go back to the car and like all this stuff. The Cure was great. I did love Band of Horses. I think I loved it most because that's my boyfriend's one of his favorites. And we had been, sharing love songs and they played it. And I'm like, romance. And so I think that one's because I'm so in love. But then, nice. Dude, oh my God, that's tough. Like, I just recently said too, that was the best concert I ever went to. Best concert, hands down. And I'm for the life of me, I can't remember. But I don't know. They're all so good. Nice. I like them all. You know what, though? I will say White Denim. That is a band out of Texas. They're amazing. I've seen them 3 times, twice in Ohio, once in North Carolina. And because I lived in North Carolina for a stint. And they sound as good, if not better, than their albums live. And they are so good. They're so personable. And definitely, that's a long time ago, too, that I was there. And the Supervillains. Saw them 3 times. And they're great. They're like a ska punk reggae band. Oh, but cool. Those 2 for sure. And they're just amazing bands. Like great live and super chill dudes and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Nice.
Those are my answers.
Love it.
So when you're at these concerts, it's like, some of these people may be, depending on the size of the concert, right? The size of the band. Is it, sometimes they might be people that you've looked up to for a long time, but sometimes people say, you shouldn't meet your heroes, it might kind of like dilute, like, what you think about them. So I'm sure you get to meet a lot of the band and everything like that. No. Okay.
No, that is actually, I'm manifesting that for this year where I get to actually meet more bands. I got to meet Cold War Kids, which was awesome. Nice. They were super nice, super chill. And the thing is like, I think if I met Jack Black or Jack White, I love both Jacks. I think then I'd be like, oh my God.
Those would be the 2. Yeah.
Oh my God, duh. I'm an idiot. Jack White for sure is like, that's one of my favorites. And Tenacious D. I saw Jack White 3 times now and Chef's Kiss. Yeah. Oh my God, here we go. I'm just going to like, this one. Anyway, but like meeting these artists, I don't know. It's just they're regular old people and you just got to be like, okay, cool. But yeah, if I met certain ones, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah.
I write it down in my journal that next night. Yeah.
I've gotten to meet a few bands as well. There's one band it's out of Los Angeles that I discovered during a Used concert. I didn't discover them. They were playing there too. I first learned of them. I didn't discover them. Hey, you guys should play with the Used. Go ahead.
Man, you guys are really good. You'd be really good with them.
But their name is Dead Sarah, and I saw them a few times in Florida. Then when I moved back here to Ohio, I saw them playing in Columbus a couple times at a place called The Basement. And I remember one of the times, like first time I went there to see them, I'm like checking out the merch table and like, oh, that's the guitarist. Like, hey, what's up? Like, no, bought a shirt. Can I get a picture with you? Like, and then like I'm standing at the bar and like, hey, you're the drummer. Can I get a picture with you? Like, and then I've seen them a couple times, and each time like we've gotten to kind of meet the bands. One times I was at the concert again at The Basement, and I remember like the bassist, his parents were working the merch table, and I got to talk to his parents, and they were the sweetest, coolest people. I'm like, that's awesome. And then awesome. And then I remember one of the times I saw them as well was after our first foster placement had just gone back to their family, and we went down to see it. My buddy, my best friend, and I went down, and he knew I was just really feeling down, depressed. We were drinking a lot. Didn't eat a whole lot of dinner, but we had a lot to drink, and he asked if we could sit in this special section. Like my buddy just asked, and so we're like right at the side of the stage getting to watch, and like the band was like totally cool about it. Like oh. So every time I've seen them, it's just been really cool. Although I think I was a little bit too inebriated at the end, like talking to them, and they were kind of like, "So, dude,
get this guy out of here."
Yeah. So, but
that's cool.
Yeah, they're a really cool band to see live, and their sound is really awesome too. They're definitely one for you to check out.
All right, I'll write it down.
Dead Sarah.
Got it. Dead Sarah. With an H or just S-A-R-A?
S-A-R-A.
Okay. That's important.
Not the biblical version. Not the biblical version.
Yeah. And the first song for you to listen is Sorry for It All.
Sorry for It All. Got it.
Yeah. That song, like, I still will get like goosebumps listening to the song. Like trust me, you'll love it.
Ooh.
Now, the station you work at is alternative. Are there other genres you listen to regularly, or is it 107.3 100% of the time through the radio, web, and or the app?
You know what? I should be saying absolutely 100%. I don't listen to anything else but 100.7 or 100.7. 100. Oh, you messed me up. I'm going to get on the radio and be like, it's 100.7.3 alternative Cleveland. What? And the listeners are going to be like, my God, girlfriend, go back to bed. Anyway, so yeah.
Alternative Norway and Ohio.
Where am I? I don't know. Alternative Creston. So I actually also work on 97.5 WONE. It's classic rock if you've not heard of it. And so I'm on there Saturday nights, and I love that station. That's when I remember traveling from Tennessee to Ohio when I'd visit family, and we'd listen to that one. And I'm like, here I am. Wow, crazy. Anyway, but I love R&B and hip hop big time. Nice. I grew up on a lot of rap and that kind of stuff, and classical music and oldies, like a lot of 70s, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Everything. Country. I mean, I am from Tennessee, but I don't like new country. I think everyone says that. And I'm not lying. I mean it. Like, bro country is just not my kind of country.
Right.
I will listen to like Merle Haggard or like, heck, even like Garth Brooks and that kind of stuff. I got to see freaking Tim McGraw last year at Neon Nights, which is like a classic country festival that the country station that we work with puts on. So good. Oh my God.
Nice.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So everything. I like everything.
So you said not into new country. What about new rap? Are you into that at all? You said rap and hip hop.
There's just so many offshoots of rap. There's like mumble rap and there's all this kind of stuff, but I like a majority of it. Yeah. And I am keeping up on the Kendrick Drake beef. And as much as Kendrick is a poet, I do think Drake is just crushing it. That's just my personal opinion. But I don't know. I just, I like it. I was listening to Choppa Style the other day when I was getting my workout in. And I remember hearing that when I was like 14.
Wow, Choppa Style.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My son is heavy on Team Kendrick right now, my son.
Dude, okay, all the youths are. My sister's 23 and she's like, I can't believe you like Drake better. And I was like, first of all, never really said that. Also, Drake came out when I was in high school, girlfriend. Like, I don't know what you expect from me. So
I think that's the thing. I think that's why they're all on Kendrick, because, to them, Drake is old,
Yeah.
So,
and I got to see Drake live at Rocket Mortgage recently and J. Cole. And let me tell you, that was my first rap concert and it was a production. Nice. I've never seen a show like that before. Like, that's its own category. Insane. It was nuts. Yeah. I have a shirt. I had to get a shirt. I was like, this earned it.
Now, you, speaking of production stuff, like I sent you the messenger stuff a while back that Neff got the search because I had sent you like the lyrics from one of the songs and then I typed it and stuff like it. Please,
I didn't listen to it. I'm sorry. I forgot.
No worries. But he is someone that I've seen come up from the beginning, like starting at like Jacob's Pavilion and stuff, and then small venues like that, then getting bigger. And then he just did his first arena tour like this last year, and he's like doing a second swing of it now. He is someone like his production has always been on point, but to see what he started with, like in those small venues, to then like having the production value, like the money into it to be a full production. Oh my gosh, like it's been so cool to see that kind of evolution of an artist as they just grow and grow.
It's amazing.
And I sent Brandon that same artist a while ago. Like he's someone that's like flies below the radar. He sounds a lot like Eminem, but he doesn't cuss or swear at all. And like his journey through his life has been, especially with you going on your mental health awareness stuff. Like he's someone that you'd be like, okay, I gotta listen to it because this stuff.
I'm gonna check it out then. Yeah.
It's like a white.
You say that, Smith? But will you really, Carrie? You say that, but will you really?
You know what? Sometimes an Aries does just need someone to call them out on their bullshit. I'm writing it in my journal right now. My agenda.
All right. Now, I didn't know you worked at WONE, but your 107.3 Alternative Cleveland is a local station, not a top 40, but you still have a music director, and you guys get input from the music panel, which I think is cool that you send that for your listeners to say, like, well, this is good, this isn't. But how often do songs end up in your rotation? They're like, oh, not this song. Or do you have enough freedom to leave those songs for like the other shifts? Hey, Alyssa, can you play that song so I don't have to hear it during my 5 hours, or leave it for the night guy? Like, are you able to swing that, or is it kind of like the whole list is like played out for the day?
So, pretty much. So we're all under Rubber City Radio. So there's Alternative Cleveland, WQMX, WAKR, and WONE. So, I think it's really cool that we are also live and local and we can do the music panel and listen to our people. However, we do have to follow the charts and that kind of stuff. So that's, we don't want to be sticklers about it, but it's just the nature of the game. It's always been that way. And following, who's got the ratings, who's got this going on. But it is funny that you say that. So there are some songs that were like, like friggin' seriously, but we got to play them and we got to stick it out. Like I'm just going to be honest. I'm not an Imagine Dragons fan at all. I hate it. When we first started the station format this way, I remember being like, what the actual F? This is alternative. Imagine Dragons is like wannabe dubstep. This is so freaking annoying. And like, but they've got a fan base. And then now Eyes Closed came out and I'm like, okay, I like it. So okay, fine, whatever. You hear something long enough that you're eventually going to like it or hate it and then love it again later. Alyssa will actually, she's the music director, so she gets to plug in all the songs and we've got like an algorithm for it. But she will put certain songs in for my shift versus someone else's. And when I was on night still, that's where like the new gets like its most, push. So Lux gets a lot of that. Like the stuff that I play in the Danger Zone, if we end up keeping it either will fall into like the overnights or it'll be so popular like Black Keys and it'll just all throughout the day.
Right on.
So, yeah.
Now, you just mentioned the Danger Zone, and that's where you play a new song or a new artist. Is there any of those newer artists that you're vibing on right now, but you think are still flying below the radar of everyone else? Like, who would be someone that you're like, ooh, I think the other day you had two female-led bands that were both like, those songs were both bangers. Like, I loved both of those songs.
Yeah. Okay. So I actually have my Danger Zone schedule. So let me let me bring these here and bring this here. Okay. So was it Tuesday? I had Smith and Alice Merton. Alice Merton, she's really good. A lot of these people, I personally am like, they're not under the radar, but just because I've heard of them doesn't mean everyone else has, or vice versa. Like just because NF doesn't mean I do. And I do. A lot of people, more music than me. No, I don't. There's so much music out there. Have you seen TikTok? There's literally so many musicians. Yeah. Oh my God. And they're just everywhere. They're stomp that pavement. So I would say Bridget Calls Me Baby is one to definitely keep an eye on. They're fun. And they've got like a nostalgia feel to where it's kind of like Cure. Okay. There's also the band Joywave has been out for a while, but they're releasing more music. Dayglow is really fun. I like them. But again, I've heard of Dayglow because I've been in the business. I'm like, they're so good. So everyone should listen to them. Who else? Who am I playing tonight? The Last Dinner Party. Now,
yeah.
They're huge right now, but I still feel like they've got so much. They can just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, tonight is Last Dinner Party and Maria's. More girl rock because I'm trying to start this thing.
There you go.
I'm trying to start this thing where I've got this girl gang going with the listeners. It's like I'm gonna make it my thing. So
there you go. Girl gang Danger Zone. There you go.
Girl gang, what's up? Shirts out. And everything. I gotta get my girl gang together.
Now it's funny with the Last Dinner Party. Their first single. I had only heard it on the radio and stuff the first time. So I had some friends like back in Florida that were music people. They would like that genre and everything. And I did not realize the actual lyrics, like the song. So like I said, I'm like, this reminds me of a band that you might like and stuff. And then I remember playing it for a buddy of mine, like yeah, this is one I heard on the radio. And then you're like, oh, I didn't realize that was the actual word. Like, all right, let me turn this one off. That's awkward now. Like,
yeah,
no wonder I haven't heard from that friend in Florida again. I'm like,
they're like, all right, freak, sending me cuss words in my music. No, literally though, Brady and I were just talking about that. There was a different song. It was Royal Lotus, Murder on the Dance Floor. I had to edit out because they say Am I allowed to cuss? I've been
Yeah,
cussing, I think. But they say goddamn. And so thank goodness I listened to these songs before I put them on, because I was like, there's 3 of those, and I would have just played it, assuming that the label sent me a radio safe song. Right. And I reversed it, and I was telling the group, I'm like, yeah, so I had to edit that. So if you can get a real one that's like truly edited and not just one that I had to pop into Adobe Audition and just figure out myself, that'd be great. Because it doesn't sound horrible, but it could sound better. And then we were talking like, oh, have you heard Last Dinner Party? Nothing Matters, unedited. And then I didn't. And then I did. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's got me. I'm like, I did not realize that's what I was sending that person. Like, okay.
Yes.
It's completely different.
Or it's the opposite. Like, I like to rap the song Roman's Revenge by Nicki Minaj from her first Pink Friday album. Spectacular album, by the way. Typically the one with Eminem, not Lil Wayne, even though I'm more partial to Eminem one. I think Lil Wayne's great too in his own. I'm a Lil Wayne girly, but I was like rapping it the one day in the car to show off to my boyfriend, because I'm like, check this out. And that's when he fell in love with me. But I found the edited one on accident, and I was like, ew, what is this?
This isn't as fun to rap with when it's edited, right?
Not how it's supposed to be. Why are they like leaving everything out?
I was trying to be way more hardcore, but this edited version is not doing it.
I like, you know what? Let me start it over real quick. Hold on. Just forget what you just heard.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I saw on Instagram you were opening a Black Keys special Cleveland Guardians edition vinyl.
Yeah.
Are you a big vinyl collector?
I have a lot of vinyls. If I could take my whole computer over and show you, I've got a good collection going. This all started, it actually started years and years ago when I was in New York, and I just picked up some just for decoration. Then super duper long story I'm not going to bore you with, but come back around to me living on my own, doing my own thing. And I'm like, you know what? I can do whatever I want. I don't have anyone to talk to about what I bring into this house. And I went and got myself a record player, and I started collecting. And I really enjoy it. It does bring me peace to chill out at night and not watch my TV, but actually listen to music. And then I got, like, since I mentioned it once to one person, I got like a whole bunch of records from someone's garage. And it's like, these are not anything I'd want. So I have a lot of records, and I cleaned them all up. I remember spending 8 hours cleaning probably 300 records. And like, it was a lot of work. But I was like, oh, I'll just sell them. I don't have time for that. So now they're just sitting here. And I think I'm going to downsize to only the ones I do listen to. Like, I listen to Radiohead, The Bends. I probably listened to that record 50 times just because it's so freaking good. In fact, I'll put it on when we get off here today. Like, oh, there you go. Phenomenal. But yeah, that one, that was awesome. I do love Blackbird Records because they'll just hold stuff for me. They don't give me anything for free. So just so everyone's aware, I'm not payola plugola. Okay, guys, like when I shout them out,
full price.
I paid for that. I just shout them out because they held it for me like very nice people. Okay. So yes. But yeah, that was a good one. I actually just got Royal Otis's album from the show that we went to. I'm looking at my calendar. That would have been, oh my God, last Sunday? The Sunday before? Sunday before. And it's all clear. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so
wait, you don't get free stuff just for shout outs? So like you're not giving us free concert tickets for coming on the podcast today? Like,
it's crazy. I know. You would think that I just have a whole bunch of stuff to give away other than my time and positivity. No, I got nothing else.
All right, I wish you would have led with that. Yeah, if you would have led with that, we would have been done 35 minutes ago.
Delete it.
This was fun, Carrie. This was fun, but we'll talk to you another time. All right, thanks.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
Brandon, this one is never going to air, bud. Sorry for wasting our time. So, no.
Dustin, you got to ask these questions when you're screening first. Leo, let's try to get these important ones right out of the way.
Hey, who put me in charge of booking my podcast?
Listen, there was actually some kid had to come pick up his Sonic Temple tickets yesterday, and he brought a buddy with him, which I love that they went by the buddy system. Like, I don't know if they were just like, let's just go hang out, whatever. Anyway, I go give him his stuff, and the friend goes, I didn't get anything. And I was like, first of all, okay, you just showed up here. And your best friend has 2 passes to Sonic Temple. You be nice to him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell this secret because I'm not going to tell anyone's name. Anyway, the winner, he texts me later and he's like, thank you so much. He's like, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend that night at Sonic Temple.
Nice.
I was like, are you serious? Oh
that
my
is
God,
awesome.
I love it. So that friend is not going. And if
Nope,
he does,
he's
that's a
not
bad
going.
sign. Yeah. Best secret. I love it.
Well, there you have a proposal coming.